Because then there's the Kim. If we're talking about Kim as a boss, there's the Kim. Everyone's outraged at Kim.
Oh.
We could come back because I don't want to end up. We'll end up doing a whole thing on Kanye.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Where's
what was the clip? What was the context of the clip? All I heard was like that sound bite where she was like, "Let's see."
How it looks, and I think people see
okay.
things.
Yeah,
with
there we go.
instant
There we go.
gratification because of social media.
Well, tell us about
All right,
that
we
they
found it.
think
We found it,
just
guys.
Comes easy to people. It doesn't, especially if you want something long term.
I have the best advice for women in
Best
business.
advice. Here we
Get
go.
your fucking ass up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days.
That's so true.
You have to surround
Yeah.
yourself with people that want to work. Have a good work environment where everyone loves what they do because you have one life. No toxic work environments, and show up and do the work.
If you're the smartest person in that room, you got to go to another room. Like you don't. I want to be around really successful people because that's going to drive me to be successful. A lot of people get intimidated to be in a room full of smart thinkers, wealthy people, whatever it is. I
how
want to
you're
be in
gonna
that
learn.
room because it also scares you to want to be. Like to be
Like,
the
motivates you and
least person-
inspires you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm like, I gotta hustle, so
But
I
I
can
think
be back
also,
in. Yeah.
Oh, she got more.
because
She got more.
you
We'll let her
see
keep
everything
going.
on social media, and you think, oh, it's just a lifestyle, or oh, it's like really quick and easy, and you can just post something, and it's not easy. When you do product shots, when you do post things that are work-related posts,
That is
it's
facts.
still a job, and
Consistent
it's still
content is
really
not-
hard,
yeah,
and
it's not easy.
success is never easy. So you just, if you put in the work, you will see results. It's fast.
See, it's just hard to hear that coming from her though.
Yeah.
Honestly, or just
Like-
that in general, because their success was predicated on their father being a very successful lawyer, and then she got famous from the Ray J tape. But like she was already around Paris, like she was Paris's assistant for a while when she wasn't really famous and shit. And then the Ray J shit came out, and then they really kind of like exploded, you know. So it's like, but their fame really came from their father. So it's kind of hard hearing her say like, "Oh, success is that," but they did work hard. Like I'm not gonna lie, like being on social media, being in the public eye, like going flying here to and fro, having
Yeah, I
business
say her
meetings.
dad
like,
ain't make her the multimillionaire she is. Like,
Yeah.
bro, that's what I don't understand. Like, I think it's like you said. I think the issue people have is the messenger. They just don't want to hear it from her.
Yeah.
But I also think the people that saw any issue with what she said probably have issues working hard. Because if anyone said you need to get off your ass and work hard for stuff, surround yourself by people that are working. Like, I don't think anyone sees that from anyone else saying that and doesn't like agree with it. Like, I
Right.
feel like
Yeah.
there's nothing you can really disagree with that she said.
I didn't think that she said anything wrong.
Right, yeah.
I think people are just
it
being
is
just
the
the
person
messenger.
who exactly. It's definitely the messenger, and I'm like, yo, because getting famous, I bet is a journey. You have to get famous, but to stay up there for all these fucking years and to keep getting these views or clicks,
Yeah.
yo, they are like a prolific family in the fucking media.
Have you heard of Rob Kardashian? What's Rob Kardashian?
He ain't
up
doing
to?
shit.
He got the same dad, right? Like, I don't know. Like, I have trouble understanding the people that are so outraged, and like so many people are calling her tone deaf. Like and I could understand you may be a little tone deaf in the sense of not knowing how people view you. But
Yeah.
if you listen to what she said, her whole point was y'all think that all this shit is easy.
It's
y'all
not,
think
yeah.
that nonstop posting and
Being in
having
front of
all
a
these
camera, yeah.
shoots, being in front
And
of a
she's
camera
getting
nonstop,
scrutinized constantly.
putting stuff that
Like-
other people wouldn't want to put in front of the world nonstop.
Her whole life,
her breakups, like,
Yeah.
oh my god, that's
But
horrible,
people
man.
that are sitting on their ass and not doing nothing, or they're just working like some regular shit and they don't aspire to do something and to push hard for something. Yeah, they're gonna be like, easy for you to say, you came from money. But so are you saying she's wrong? You're like, fuck you. You shouldn't have to work hard. None of us should have to work hard.
Yeah.
Like,
or
I don't know.
to manage a brand, like they have a brand, like that name means something. That name has value to it, you know. But
Yeah.
and that's pretty hard. Like we're trying to build our own brands right now,
It's
like
like
working
if-
to get our fucking shit
It's
out.
like
So-
if Jaden Smith was saying like, y'all motherfuckers and create, or y'all artists don't want to work. You don't want to be in the studio. You're not locked in all these hours. You don't want to work on these tapes. I put out X amount of records, and then you're like, well, easy for you to say. Will Smith's your dad. Okay, well, take the advice or don't. But it's not that it's wrong. It's just that
Yeah.
you're salty because you feel like he had a platform up than you did.
People have
But-
different like fucking hands dealt to them. Like you have certain opportunities,
Yeah,
and if
deal
you,
with it.
So-
you could also be like Robin, not take the opportunity.
So 20 years down the road, when you have kids, tell your kids that you weren't as successful and you didn't become a millionaire, didn't become rich because you didn't have it like Kim Kardashian. You didn't have it like Jaden Smith.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you say to Kendrick Lamar? What do you say to all these niggas that didn't
Yeah.
have shit and made it?
Mm-hmm.
People can make it, bro. Like, it doesn't really matter where you start at or where. You do need to work hard. You do need to be around people that motivate you. Be around people. Chloe actually made a good take, and it's so easy to come and try to bash the Kardashians. But if you're someone who like pays attention to business and what people are doing, even what she said, if you're the smartest person in the room, you in the wrong room, and that's definitely true. Like if you want to be surrounded by people you feel like are smarter than you, or at least pushing you, or at least have ideas that are gonna challenge you mentally. If you just around people that you deem kind of stupid, yeah, it's not going to be the most productive experience. I don't know. It's weird to see all the hate that she's getting for what sounded like pretty good advice.
Yeah, like I'm not like I don't feel bad at all like that people or not. I don't feel some type of way of her saying some shit like that. Like
Okay, devil's advocate, maybe the part where she said women, right? Because maybe at that point you can come into the idea of women aren't as promoted in the workspace, or they don't have the same opportunities as men, let's say, in the workspace, right? So it's like if you're a woman and you're working in business or whatever, you need to get off your ass. Where it's like, okay, but you as a woman had a different platform than most other women. Where it's like if you're trying to compete in business as a woman, it might be harder. You know what I'm saying? From any other aspect.
That's crybaby talk. That's what
devil's advocate.
no.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm responding to the devil's advocate. You know, and I like that.
Just
We
on-
gotta
just
start
on
doing
a-
that
just on a-
more
on a
because
women,
niggas
yeah.
was agreeing too much. I always thought y'all was gonna actually be shitting on her, but. Okay, and that's crybaby talk. I've had people I talk to, they're like, oh, yeah, I gotta stop slurring I gotta be more articulate. I want to be a dancer, bro. Yeah, I want to do this. Well, how often are you dancing? How many clips are you putting out? Not that many, bro. You know, I gotta work. I work at Ralph's, and then I gotta take care of my mom a lot. And I'm like, yeah, like these are not things that are like, those are real issues that you have to deal with. But if we're talking about you genuinely wanting to be successful here, obviously you're not going to get that if you're not putting in time to this. So if you have to do all that, that means that you need to really be having like 12-hour days, basically 13-hour day, like some crazy ass days. Like people, oh, I work full time, man. It's hard for me to work on my music. Well, realistically, you're probably not going to achieve your goal musically if you don't have the time to put in. So everyone can always come up with different reasons why. So it's like, and so to go to the devil's advocate, if you know, she's saying women need to do this, and you're saying, well, I didn't have these type of opportunities that you had. Okay, fine. Don't work hard. Fuck the advice. Don't work hard. Hang around a bunch of dummies and just be happy because you're right. You didn't have what Kim Kardashian had. So fuck it then.
Just give up.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just give up and tell your kids.
It's like The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. He talks about like your personal life has nothing to do with the work that you have to put into. You know, like no matter if you're going through a breakup or if you're sad or any of these things, that doesn't mean shit about the work because you still have to do it at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. As a person, super true. Like, and as a friend, if it was like one of y'all or whatever, it's like, yeah, like that's definitely a personal things you're going through, like there for you. But if we're just talking about success, it's like you want to be in the NBA and you're like, yeah, no, I'm gonna just take a year off, get my mind right. That's great for you, but obviously I wouldn't bet my money on you being successful in that field because to get to that field, you have to get X amount of reps, X amount of hours. You want to be a professional trade for a living.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, bro, I just been going through it, so I haven't really been able to get up in time for the market. Totally understandable. You're arguing with your mom or your girlfriend. Totally understandable, but obviously I wouldn't bet on you being a successful trader. I mean, you don't have the screen time. It is what it is. Like it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Last example. I feel like I'm gonna fail this exam because I had a lot of shit going on. You're going to fail your class. That's why some people can really excel in college because like you don't really have a choice. You have to do well. Like you have to get your work done. But when it comes to them doing stuff for themselves, no one's there to give them a grade and say,
gauge.
okay,
Yeah.
you're a comedian. All right, did you go up on stage at all this week? How many times? Okay, how many? Okay, you got to fail for the week. You didn't go. Like if you didn't go, you got to fail, and you might flunk out, and you're paying all this tuition. That doesn't happen in the real world. So if you want to be successful, if there's no one giving you letter grades, so yeah, if you can't work hard, be in a good circle, I wouldn't bet my money on you.
There's no metrics for that shit. And I think, honestly, this is kind of a little off topic. I think the school system doesn't really help with that, too. Because it's like, you sit down, you go to school, you're like, okay, if I do this, I know I'm going to get a grade.
They're getting you ready for a job.
Exactly. Like, I know I'm going to get a grade. When you're working for yourself and you don't have a boss, you have nothing to gauge. Like, there's no metrics for you, per se. Like, you have to hold it against yourself. It's kind of hard to say, like, okay, I got to get up and work today. But nobody's going to give me a pat on the back and say, hey, here's an A for working today. It's like, it's just going to come after time and, like, getting the reps in. So, you know.
It's much easier to just find other people that are successful and ignore their advice and just say, well, you had this happen.
Right.
Or Big Sean. If I'm trying to rap and I see a Big Sean talking about, you got to put your hours, and I'm like, well, I wish Kanye would walk by me and I could freestyle for him. You just got picked up. I know Big Sean put in hella work. He wrote for a motherfucker. Like, he was shelved for so long. Well, something happened?
Battery. But no, so I was just also going to say, Fuck, that shit kind of threw me off. Hold on. Keep on.
But I mean, I wouldn't take away from no one's hard work if they've been successful and they have done their shit. Like, it's just very counterproductive to be sitting there just trying to find reasons why other people are successful and why they had a leg up, whether it's true or not. Your success is on you. So, okay, what are you going to do with that information of other people had it easier than me? They had an easier route than me. I don't have a cosign. Fuck, look at 6ix9ine, man. He was able to link up with the Bloods. I'm Rizzy. I don't have no gang behind me.
Yeah.
I got I got Kai Creations and Sakibi Comedy and a few other, like, I don't have no fucking...
they both died. Damn.
Hey, we got the main cam, but I don't know.
So
You don't
I
want
was
your
just
leg
gonna
up.
say real fast. Value. It's like, okay, how can you